What if I told you that right now, today, inside the offices of NFL front offices and coaching staffs across the entire league, Caleb Williams is no longer being discussed as a young quarterback with potential? What if the conversation has already shifted? What if the people who study this game for a living, the scouts, the coordinators, the insiders with ears inside every locker room in the country, are already placing him in the same breath as the elite names at the most important position in professional sports? That is not a prediction. That is not a hope. That is what is actually happening right now, and if you are a Bears fan, you need to pull up a chair and pay close attention, because this is the kind of validation that changes everything about how you view the season. A respected NFL insider recently sat down on a major national sports platform to break down the quarterback landscape heading into the new season. When the conversation turned to Caleb Williams, there was no hedging, no. He has a chance to be. No. If he cleans things up, he could develop into. The statement was clean and direct. Around the league, Caleb Williams is currently viewed as a top 10 quarterback, and beyond that, he is considered one of the most dangerous closers in the entire sport. Not one of the more promising young closers. Not a guy trending in the right direction. One of the most dangerous closers in the NFL, full stop. In only his second season. At 23 years old. Let that land for a second. If this energy gets you fired up the same way it fires me up, hit that like button right now, share this video with every Bears fan you know, and subscribe so you never miss a single update on what is shaping up to be one of the most electric seasons Chicago has seen in decades. Now let us talk about how that reputation was built, because nothing about it was accidental. Think back to last season and the moments that genuinely made you stop breathing for a second. The drives where everything was going wrong, where the defense had bent and the crowd was nervous, and then Caleb Williams walked back onto that field with that look on his face like none of it mattered to him. There was a moment late in a game against the Cincinnati Bengals where the Bears' defense gave up a lead late, and the cameras cut to Caleb on the sideline before the ensuing drive, and he had this expression that could only be described as hunger. Not panic. Not frustration. Pure, focused hunger. That is not something you can coach. That is wiring. And that wiring showed up in the statistics in a way that is honestly difficult to believe for a second-year player. When Caleb was trailing by 8 points or less, or playing in a tied game in the fourth quarter or overtime, he completed 53 of 88 attempts, threw for 735 yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. His passer rating in those situations was somewhere in the range of 110 when you combine the fourth quarter and overtime numbers, which is elite by any historical measure at this position. He set an NFL record with 6 fourth-quarter comebacks during the regular season alone, and then for good measure went into the playoffs and delivered a 7th comeback victory against the Green Bay Packers on one of the biggest stages of his young career. When the game is on the line, Caleb Williams does not look for an exit. He walks toward the fire. Here is the question I want you to sit with before we keep going. Does Caleb Williams already belong in your personal top 10 quarterbacks in the entire NFL right now, today? Drop your honest answer in the comments section below. I am genuinely curious where the fan base stands on this, because I think the number might surprise some people. What makes him so uniquely difficult to game plan against is something that goes beyond statistics or win totals. There is simply no such thing as the perfect defensive call against Caleb Williams, because there is no play he cannot make. You can construct the ideal coverage shell, bring the exact right blitz package, put your best pass rushers on the field, and he will slip out of the pocket, extend the play by 4 seconds, and deliver an absolute precision throw from a body position that defies physics. The insider who broke this story compared him specifically to Patrick Mahomes, saying Caleb Williams is capable of making plays that only Mahomes can make at this level. That comparison is not being offered carelessly. People inside the league who watch every snap of every game are assigning Patrick Mahomes to creativity and improvisation ability to a 23-year-old in his 3rd season. The ceiling people are talking about is not good quarterback. It is not very good quarterback. It is all-time tier if everything develops the way it appears to be developing. But here is the fascinating part of this whole conversation, because the ceiling discussion is important, But the real story of this offseason is what is happening in the building right now on the most fundamental level. The work happening in organized team activities and minicamp has been almost entirely focused on the basics. Ball placement within the structure of the offense. Pocket presence and footwork. Trusting the first read when it is open and taking the completion rather than hunting the big explosive play on every single snap. Head coach Ben Johnson has been straightforward about what he wants, and he has also been remarkably positive about what he has seen from his quarterback this spring. Johnson said Caleb has been deeply receptive to every single coaching point this offseason. He described a player who takes in information, processes it on film, and then carries it into the next practice rep or the next game rep with genuine intent to apply what he learned. Johnson specifically noted that you can tell Caleb something one time and it shows up immediately, not after 3 weeks, not after 6 repetitions, but right away. The coach said the more their minds align on concepts and reads and decision-making, the more dangerous this offense becomes. Those are not the words of a coach managing expectations. Those are the words of a coach who believes he has something truly special on his hands. The emphasis on ball placement is not simply about completing more passes, though that matters too. It is about the precision of where the ball lands relative to the receiver's body and stride. Ben Johnson has built this entire offense around creating yards after the catch. A receiver catching a ball in perfect stride at full speed, with room to turn the corner, can turn a routine 8-yard completion into a 30 or 40-yard gain without the quarterback doing anything extraordinary. Luther Burden, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, these are playmakers who thrive when the ball arrives exactly right. If Caleb is consistently putting it there, the offense becomes something opposing coordinators genuinely lose sleep over. In the 7-on-7 work this spring, he reportedly went 19 of 20 over his last 2 sessions. That level of precision in a system built around spacing and separation is a genuinely terrifying sign for the rest of the NFC North. Question of the day, and I want everyone in the comments to answer this one specifically: what is the single biggest thing Caleb Williams needs to prove in year 3 to cement himself as a true top 5 quarterback in this league? Is it completion percentage? Ball placement? Consistency across 4 full quarters rather than just fourth quarter heroics? Tell me exactly what you think needs to happen. Here is the bottom line. The Bears already have one of the most punishing rushing attacks in the NFL. They have weapons at every level of the field. They have Ben Johnson, one of the most imaginative offensive minds this league has produced in years. And running through all of it is a 23-year-old who the entire NFL already respects as a top 10 player at his position, who set records for clutch performance last season, and who by every account available is approaching this offseason with the mindset of someone who is not satisfied with top 10. The league sees a top 10 quarterback. Bears fans, the ceiling from here is still a long way up. Year 3 is not just another season. It has the potential to be historic.